Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm looking again at the 2025 elections. Of course, the governor election in the state of Virginia and New Jersey, the New York City mayoral election, and I'm also looking at the attorney general's race underway in Virginia. Now the topic of this video is going to be a little bit different. If you've watched a lot of my prior videos, or if not, this is your first time watching my video, a lot of videos that I focus on are about polling, election results, election data. One area I usually don't talk about too much is the political prediction markets. The most commonly you'll probably heard of are Poly Market or Kalshi, are two pretty big, well-known ones. I typically stick more with just like election polling and data and such, but I thought today's video would be fun to look at these governor's races, the mayor race, and everything, and look at it also through the lens of the political prediction markets to see how they have voting or going this election, who they think is going to win. Just to be clear, this is not me necessarily endorsing these political prediction markets or anything, just using it as a tool to see how they think these elections are going to go. So just to give you an idea, for example, we'll start with Virginia and its 2025 governor's race. Right now, the expectations are this race will probably be a Democratic win. The recent polling data shows the Democrat Abigail Spanberger leading the Republican Winsome Sears by right around 6.5% in the Real Clear Politics polling average. In Wikipedia's average of averages, she's up by about 6.4%. So we can actually compare this to the Kalshi winners. First, we'll go to Kalshi, where in the Virginia governor's race, the Democratic Party candidate, Abigail Spanberger, has a 90% chance to win, according to this metric, 90%. It also is worth noting, thus far, this has been very consistent in the state of Virginia. It really hasn't gotten much too competitive, even going back to months, and even back in November. It shows a pretty clear, concise number that Abigail Spanberger is likely going to win based on these results. Now that is Kalshi. We can also look now at Poly Market as well, who show a very similar standing. Abigail Spanberger has a 94% chance to win, whereas Winsome Sears, the Republican, has around a 6% chance to win. And again, these numbers really aren't too surprising. It's a little bit difficult to equate them to like the typical election scales of like likely, safe, or lean, but at 94-6, I mean, this is right around a likely to lean win. You really can't get more solid for the Democrats than that. So that's how they currently have Virginia going. Now we can look at the New Jersey governor's race. I feel like this is the one that's getting the most talked about because it's also the most competitive, really, at the governor level when everything is said and done. Here, Mikey Sherrill, the Democrat, has a narrow lead over the Republican Jack Ciattarelli, though it does seem as we're getting closer and closer to the election day, Sherrill's lead has certainly gone down from what it was a few months ago. Though she still has around a 3 to 4 point lead, Real Clear Politics has her up by 3.5%, whereas the average of averages overall has Mikey Sherrill up 4.3% against Jack Ciattarelli. Still a very competitive race, but Sherrill narrowly favored to win at this current point in time. Now we can look at the betting odds and see what they think is going to happen here. For Kalshi and the New Jersey governor, it's a lot, or not a lot, but it's definitely more close than the Virginia one is. Still, the Democrat Mikey Sherrill favored 76% to the Republicans Jack Ciattarelli at 24%. And you can actually see, according to the chart, it's gotten more competitive in recent weeks. Right around September 21st, we saw Mikey Sherrill have around an 88% chance to win, Jack Ciattarelli only a 12% chance. Ciattarelli's numbers over the last month or so have doubled, bringing him up to 24%. Still, though, at 76-24%, it seems people are most confident that Mikey Sherrill is going to be the one to win, not Jack Ciattarelli, but this does seem to be the closer of the two when it comes to the governor's races. But again, pretty much in lockstep with the current predictions for these two governor's elections that the Democrats are currently favored in both, and it also shows that the New Jersey governor's race, which is expected to be the closer of the two, the odds certainly seem to suggest that as well. So those are the top two governor's races in Virginia and New Jersey. Now let's take a look at the 2025 New York City mayoral election. Now this is one where in the last few months or so, since becoming the Democratic nominee, Zohran Mamdani has really run away in the polling averages, and it seems to be keeping up with that trend. Most recent poll from Fox News as well shows Mamdani leading by about 20 points. And the polling averages seem to suggest that as well. Mamdani has about an 18-point lead in the Decision Desk HQ polling aggregate over Andrew Cuomo. Curtis Lewa not even close, behind at 13.1%. Now for the Kalshi average as well, no surprise here, heavy favorite for Zohran Mamdani in this race. Even though Cuomo, since he launched his campaign, it's looked like for a while would be the second place finisher in terms of regards to who finishes first, who finishes second, and third. But clearly, according to the Zohran Mamdani, is big favorite to be the Democratic winner of the New York City mayoral election taking place on November 4th. Mamdani clearly the heavy favorite to win here. No surprise at all there. On Polymarket, really not much of a difference either. Zohran Mamdani has 89% chance to win. Andrew Cuomo a 10% chance to win. Curtis Lewa down even below 1% chance to win in this one. So again, another one where the market and the political polling seem to be pretty much completely lined up in lockstep on these two races. Now we can also look at the Attorney General election as well in the state of Virginia. Now this one's very interesting because up for a while now, it's looked like the Democrat Jay Jones was going to win this race. Then Jay Jones has a big scandal about past text messages leaking, saying some very, very disturbing things about a political rival, and the race has really been one-upped since that happened. Now, the polling average for Mayoras, the Republican Attorney General, versus Democrat Jay Jones is showing a super, super competitive race. Mayoras up 0.3% over the Democrat Jay Jones, according to Real Clear Politics. Mayoras is up 2.1% over Jay Jones, according to Decision Desk HQ, an average of 1.2%. So clearly there's been a shift in this race where before the scandal broke, it looked like Jay Jones was leading by as much as 5, 6, 7 points or so, depending on what poll you're looking at. Now Mayoras seems to be in a very much stronger position to win this race, with Jay Jones right around 45, 46%. However, it still should be worth noting that of the 4 polls that have come out now after the scandal have broken, 3 of which have been Republican pollsters, only one has been a Democratic pollster. And it was Jones's campaign, but it showed him winning by 1 point. So this is going to be very interesting because we don't have a ton of polling data to go off of here, but it shows Jason Mayoras has certainly gotten a lot of momentum in this race following the scandal from Jay Jones. Now, on the Polymarket and Kalshi side of things, this is where things currently stand. They have shown a similar result here. Now, when you look back to before the scandals broke, say October 1st, Jay Jones had a very strong chance of winning, 87.8%. The Republican Mayoras, the incumbent, only had a 12% chance to win. The scandal breaks, and now as of today, almost completely flipped. Jason Mayoras has a 77% chance to win, whereas Jay Jones down to a 34%. And you can see the trends here are pretty clear. Mayoras' numbers are skyrocketing, and Jones's numbers are in free fall. It should also be worth noting at the time I'm recording this video, the debate that's going on between Mayoras and Jay Jones is just finishing up, so that could certainly play a role in the undecideds in this race as well. But certainly seems Jason Mayoras has a momentum in this race according to the markets, and the polling data reflected that as well. Now we can look lastly at Polymarket just to finish up here and see what they say. Now in this one, it has going only back to about October 7th, but because that's when it was created. But again, the numbers are very similar. Jay Jones led over Jason Mayoras. It certainly narrowed up with the scandal. And now Jason Mayoras is the favorite, though a smaller favorite, 68% for Mayoras, 34% for Jones. But of all these races we looked at, the governor's races in Virginia and New Jersey, the New York City mayoral election, and now the Virginia Attorney General race, the only one where a Republican is currently favored to win is Jason Mayoras in this Virginia Attorney General's race. And if it were for the scandal for Jay Jones, likely we would see all 4 of them probably go for the Democratic side of things, both on the market side and on the political prediction side. So this is very interesting because also you see on social media sometimes arguing that polls should be discredited or political markets are the way to go, or political markets mean nothing and polling's the way to go. What's interesting about these races thus far is it actually seems that the political markets and the polling are kind of in lockstep right now in how the races are trending to go. Right now with the Democrats winning in Virginia governor, New Jersey governor, New York City mayoral, but Republicans winning in Virginia Attorney General election, all of those are pretty much in line with what my own personal rankings are for those races as well. And with many top predictors on both YouTube and journalists and such in the media, often or all also have these rankings for these races going pretty similarly. So I wanted to do a video looking at these political markets just to give a little bit of attention to them, see what they're saying. But a lot of them are in pretty much agreement on how these races are currently going, especially when you talk about New Jersey, which is expected to be the most closely watched of the 2 governor's races, and the Attorney General election in Virginia, which with the scandal is now such a big wild card, being the 2 most competitive ones here. It's shaping up to be a very close race, and a closer race than Virginia and New York City, but clearly showing there is a path for Chitterelli to win, but it looks like Mikey Sherrill, the Democrat, has the lead for right now. Whereas in the Virginia Attorney General side of things, it looks like Jason Mayoras is leading right now, but there's still certainly a big path with a lot of undecided voters for Jay Jones to win. So this is going to be a very interesting race to watch in Virginia and New Jersey as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video, certainly a different video than I usually do on my channel. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy it. Keep an eye out. I have some very important and interesting videos planned for the next few weeks leading up to election night that I want to have coming out soon, so make sure to keep an eye out for those. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in a future video.